everyone, welcome to this update video. I hope you're doing good. We're going to be looking at what is going on across the Atlantic, and as you can see from this graphic, there are a couple areas to talk about. So we have what is now Tropical Storm Francine. So Francine was a hurricane and made landfall in Louisiana yesterday, so it is weakening right now, and we can see these three yellow areas highlighted. We've got two X's, so we've got invests just to the east of the Caribbean. So the one that is a bit further to the east is Invest 92L. At one point it had a pretty high chance of formation, but that chance has substantially decreased. And then we have Invest 94L just to the east of the Lesser Antilles. So we've got both of those disturbances there. Low chances to develop, 10% for both of them. And then we also see that area offshore the east coast. Now that area is given a 30% chance of formation, so we could see an airflow pressure try to get itself together and acquire some tropical characteristics within this area. So we'll definitely have to watch for that. And then not too far from the Cabo Verde Islands is Tropical Depression 7. So this depression is expected to intensify into a tropical storm by later today, and the next name on the list is Gordon. So it is actually future Gordon we're looking at here. Now this looks as though it may not be a bother for land, at least for the next several days. So let's get straight into the details. As we switch to the satellite imagery here, we can see pretty much a mess in parts of the southern states due to Francine. Lots of rain moving in, and as for the Caribbean, not a whole lot going on right now. And then we can see that little tiny blob just east of the Lesser Antilles in that other area of a little bit of a cluster of showers. So those are the two areas that we're watching. And then way further to the east near the Cabo Verde that we can see all of that activity associated with Tropical Depression 7. So we'll talk more about those systems in a moment, but going to the Caribbean, we can see that there is a couple of blobs popping up around here and there. So we've got a bit of shower activity moving through parts of the Windward Islands, so it may be a little bit rainy this morning for a few spots. And then we can also see a bit of action in parts of eastern Jamaica. So you can let me know what's been going on for you. A couple of thunderstorms around Central and Northern South America. Elsewhere, not experiencing much. But then as we head throughout today, this is a look at the rainfall forecast. So there's likely to be some periods of some downpours in parts of Cuba, going to Jamaica, maybe the Cayman Islands, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico as well. And as for the Virgin Islands, we're seeing a little bit more colorful shadings around. Same thing for parts of the Lesser Antilles, especially towards the Windward Islands. So there could be a bit more rainfall with some heavy downpours in a couple spots. Then as for the ABC Islands, some showers may actually loiter around. So hopefully there are some downpours to cool off the area from the heat, because there hasn't been much rain at all down there. It's typically a dry spot in the Caribbean. And then as we head down to parts of Colombia and Venezuela, maybe a few spots in northwestern Guyana, there could be some downpours as well. Central America, mostly towards the Pacific side of Panama, Costa Rica, even Nicaragua and El Salvador could experience some downpours today. So elsewhere, not a whole lot of rain expected. Going out to the parts of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, there could definitely be some showers. Same thing for Florida. On a whole, nothing crazy is going on right now in the Caribbean region. As we head on to Tropical Storm Francine, which was a hurricane, we can see here that there is still a tropical storm warning in effect for parts of southeastern Louisiana and coastal Mississippi and Alabama, but that should be discontinued soon. So Francine is moving in with all of the rainfall, and of course that poses a threat in terms of the flooding, but since it is cut off from its source of fuel, which is those very warm waters of the Gulf, it is rapidly weakening. So it should dissipate maybe as we head into the end of this week, going to late tomorrow or so. But again, there's still going to be all that rain moving into parts of the United States. Then as for Tropical Depression 7, here's the cone forecast for it. We can see that S representing that it is expected to be a tropical storm intensity over the course of the coming days. Now, it is making its way to the west-northwest at 17 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds up to 35 miles per hour. So it is likely to intensify into a tropical storm later today, but it is not expected to quickly strengthen, nor is it a problem for land, at least for now. So it doesn't look as though this is going to be much of a concern. for anyone, but of course we still want to keep an eye. There can be changes in the long term, especially beyond 5 days. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. And as for the 2 disturbances out there, as I said, both given a 10% chance to develop. Now why? Because there is some dry air loitering around. We're not talking about some big areas of convection. Right now these systems are struggling. They're pretty tiny areas of low pressure, and with the dry air around, that is posing a problem and not allowing them to really get themselves together. So we don't see that there is a whole lot going on with them right now. But once they drift to the Caribbean, if close enough and sustaining enough activity, there could be an increase in showers and even thunderstorms for some areas. So I'll keep you guys posted in terms of that as well. And so guys, that's basically what I wanted to share with you in this updates video, just giving you that general update on what's going on in the tropics. And I do hope you found it to be informative. But if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I have the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.